Thank you. Chairman Cornyn, Ranking Member Padilla, and members of the subcommittee, thank you for inviting me today to discuss this salient topic. There's been a great deal of contention of late over ICE arrests of aliens in the interior. With 33 years of immigration experience as a prosecutor, congressional staffer, and immigration judge, I hope to put those arrests into context. Some 300,000 aliens have been arrested in the interior under the second Trump administration, according to DHS. That's more than the 113,500 aliens ICRO arrested in FY 2024 and the 170,600 ICE arrests in FY 2023. And the agency is on track to make twice as many interior arrests this year as in FY 2009, 298,000. That said, as the Supreme Court noted in INS versus Lopez Mendoza, a case addressing the legality of worksite raids, the average immigration officer made 500 alien arrests per year in 1984, at a time when the unauthorized population was significantly smaller. If ICE were operating at that same pace today, the agency would have made roughly 3 million interior arrests since January. According to DHS, 70% of the aliens ICE arrested in the last 6 months have criminal histories, either arrests or convictions. That's roughly equivalent to FY 2024, when 72% of ICE interior arrests involved aliens with criminal histories, but much higher than the 43% criminal history arrest rate in FY 2023. Most of the ICE enforcement attention, both in Congress and in the media, has focused on what ICE refers to as, quote, at-large arrests at homes and in public places. When I was an INS trial attorney in California in the mid-1990s, there were few at-large arrests because most jurisdictions allowed immigration officers into their jails and other secure facilities to take custody of criminal aliens. As the New York City Criminal Justice Coordinator told the House Judiciary Committee at a hearing I staffed in February 2003, the NYPD cooperated, quote, with federal authorities in investigating and apprehending aliens suspected of criminal activity. Close quote. As I note in my written testimony, that cooperation degraded in the mid-2010s as jurisdictions began implementing, quote, sanctuary policies, close quote, to impede ICE enforcement. Sanctuary policies only protect criminals, and if they were to end, ICE would likely be too busy processing criminals in local jails to perform many at-large arrests. Because alienage isn't a critical factor in most state and local arrests and prosecutions, there's no way to know what percentage of the undocumented have criminal records. But what is known is that 100% of criminal aliens do have criminal records, and the recidivism rate is high. A 2011 GAO study found that criminal aliens had, on average, 7 separate arrests apiece. As most of those criminal aliens live in and prey on immigrant communities, other immigrants are the ones harmed the most. Sanctuary policies also force ICE agents into the community to arrest criminal targets where the threat of violent resistance is higher and where they often encounter other aliens here unlawfully, likely the key reason why the percentage of ICE arrests involving aliens with criminal histories isn't higher. Note also that all aliens, including criminals, are entitled to constitutional protections throughout the removal process, including due process law. The process due those aliens, as Mr. Avila just noted, differs from what the Constitution accords to criminal defendants and is often less than that accorded to U.S. citizens. The due process clause applies to all persons in the United States, but the Supreme Court has held, quote, the nature of that protection may vary dependent upon an alien status and circumstance. Finally, I'll note that I was a congressional staffer on 9/11. Congress responded to those attacks by tightening the vetting process for aliens coming lawfully to protect Americans from criminals and other security threats. The hard-earned lessons of September 11th were ignored over the last 4 years, as the last administration released millions of unvetted aliens into our communities, too many of whom have gone on to harm innocent victims here. We have the most generous legal immigration system in the world, but American voters will only continue to support those policies if they are safe from criminal threats and know the laws will be enforced. That's likely why 75% of respondents in the most recent Harvard-Harris poll supported the current administration's, quote, efforts to deport criminals who are here illegally, close quote. In closing, thank you again. And I look forward to your questions.